As the crucial summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin approaches, scheduled for August 15th in Alaska, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has issued a clear and uncompromising warning. Donald Trump must not be deceived by Putin's enticing talk of peace. Zelensky insists that Putin's calls for negotiations are not sincere. According to him, these are tactical maneuvers aimed at buying time, weakening Ukraine's position, and convincing the world that Russia is open to dialogue, while in reality, its objectives remain unchanged. Ukraine, which has been facing a devastating war for many months, knows that every word matters, and that any premature concession could have catastrophic consequences for its territory and its people. The Ukrainian president also stressed that any ceasefire agreement must be accompanied by concrete, tangible, and verifiable guarantees to prevent any future Russian aggression. He made it clear that no proposal should include territorial concessions, especially regarding the Donetsk region, where the fighting has been the most intense and deadly. For Zelensky, giving in on this point would amount to legitimizing the alteration of international borders by force, which goes against international law and the principles upheld by Europe and the United Nations. The concerns are not limited to Ukraine. European leaders are watching this summit closely, fearing that Donald Trump, in his eagerness to quickly strike a deal or portray himself as a mediator, might favor a ceasefire that benefits Russia rather than a truly balanced peace agreement. To counter this possibility, Zelensky has been intensifying diplomatic initiatives, including virtual meetings with Donald Trump and several European leaders, to ensure that Ukraine's interests are represented and protected. He wants to avoid any negotiation that could compromise his country's sovereignty or endanger its citizens. Beyond official talks, Zelensky is also playing on the media and strategic front. Every statement, every interview, and every message to the international community is aimed at reminding the world that Ukraine will not settle for a fragile compromise, that the war has an enormous human cost, and that any lasting solution must be based on respect for international law and recognition of the country's territorial integrity. He highlights the thousands of civilians affected, the destroyed cities, and the displaced families to remind everyone that behind these negotiations are real human lives. This summit between Trump and Putin is not just an isolated diplomatic event. It could define the future of the war in Ukraine and have major repercussions on the global geopolitical balance. The decisions made and the concessions granted could influence how countries respond to future crises, and determine whether Russia will continue to impose its will by force or whether the world will firmly uphold the principle that no country can alter another's borders through violence. If you want to stay informed in real time about this crucial situation and understand the hidden stakes behind the summits and official statements, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Every piece of information, every detail matters in understanding what is really happening on the international stage. As the summit draws closer, tension is mounting, and the whole world is watching. Zelensky keeps repeating that peace cannot be built on illusions or empty promises, but on concrete, verifiable commitments respected by all parties. The coming days will be decisive for Ukraine, for Europe, and for the entire international community. To follow all the analysis and live updates, subscribe to the channel now and stay with us to understand what's unfolding behind the closed doors of the world's great powers. The future of millions of people could depend on these discussions, and it is crucial to be informed clearly and precisely to grasp the full magnitude of the situation.